Hello and welcome to episode 2, because we started at 0. Feint Fumble War for the Crown. Shall we get started with a summary of what happened last time? There's a hero point in it if whoever summarizes.
Yeah, I'm happy to start off because we had a few different threads. So Sir Kelsey, after being introduced to a new retainer, Fulgrim Lava Pike, spent some time on the Grand Bridge, where he was watching out for signs of people using the mosaic in a kind of an unexpected way in terms of patterns or signals or whatever. And he managed to see a street performer um, using the worn tiles in a very particular pattern. Once he'd got that information, he then headed to meet up with the rest of his companions. Whereupon he was told that there would be a senator giving a speech on the bridge with his aide, and then Sir Kelsey attempted to gain some rapport with the senator. So even though the senator's kind of very sort of pro-war beliefs conflicted with Sir Kelsey's, at least in terms of Haldor being ready for such a war of aggression, he managed to establish at least the beginnings of a rapport based on a shared love of the Empire. And then he then went to join the rest of the group who were speaking with the aide. And I will, I guess, pass over to somebody else to explain about the aide and
Yep.
what was happening there.
Yep. So, me and the new retainer, we headed initially from the start, from the bridge where we all split our different ways. Me and the new retainer, we went down into some of the slums around the East Docks and spoke with some people in the bar. I, as a rogue, failed miserably at trying to talk up the barkeep to get information. The retainer ended up intimidating some other people at a table to talk with us to get rid of us out of the inn. So we got some information that the assistant that was previously mentioned would actually have some information that we are after. So with that, we ended up going to speak with this assistant, whom I thought was actually involved. Through some discussions, we found out that she's not in fact involved, but has dreams of the fires that are going on around town. And doesn't know why she's haunted by these fires. It turns out we think, or at least I think, that she may in fact be haunted by some previous lost spirit of some form. So we have agreed to meet up with her later in the evening at another more quiet location, where hopefully we can talk a bit more openly with the whole group together and this poor little girl who's being haunted.
Well, woman rather than girl, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so, that means 2 hero points are going to get given out. So...
I think
Maybe-
there's one more.
Yes, there was.
Yeah. Would Cyril like to do that one? Because I did the recap last time.
No, go ahead. You did way more of that stuff than I did, and I can just add things if I remember stuff that you don't.
Yes. We sought out the. We traveled to the university, well, an academy, and not quite a university, to it was some sort of performers circus clown school. But we sought out this biographer who was known to be associated with the subversives, some degree, or suspected to be. And we piqued her academic curiosity and were able to ascertain information about the fires, that there had been one prior to the most recent incidents we are investigating, but which had been covered up by someone with a great deal of money or power, or both. However, now with whatever force was able to do that no longer has the power to cover it up, but they seem to still be starting these fires, seemingly. And they pointed us towards this girl. What was her name? Makadis, who
Maria
we
Makadis,
tracked down on the bridge. It happened to be the with that senator. And we were able to ascertain that she does not seem to be starting these fires, as we suspected, but seems to be haunted by them. And also that her family has lost a great deal of money, leaving them relatively bankrupt from their wealthy position, which suggests that perhaps her father or some associates of theirs were involved with this. And when we asked her if her father had been associated with any radical political elements, she froze, like a doe in the face of a carriage's lantern. And we have set a time to speak with her in private to gain more information.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the important stuff. Also, Cyril and I bonded. It was fun.
Yeah, and you fell over over chairs. That was also
Yeah,
very fun.
I got my ass kicked by chairs.
Yes, but apart from that, you did insanely well. So, but yeah.
Yeah, so many nat 20s. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, I think that's everything. If there's anything else I missed.
No, I think you got everything.
Yeah.
All right,
So...
who
Sorry?
I just said hoorah. Hell yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said who won and I was confused. Okay. So, we return to the city of Apara. It's evening. Well, early evening. But it's winter, so the sun is getting close to sunset. Because it's late winter. It's February. It's Callistrial February, same thing basically. Anyway, so as the town is still fairly busy though, because it is the festival of exaltation, and the people are still thronging the streets, bustling about, heading to taverns and inns for the evening's entertainment. You have decided that you are heading to Eastport District to meet with Arya Makatis.
Okay.
Yes, we're gonna have supper together.
We may eat, but keep in mind what we're going there for.
Yeah. We are meeting at a supper club, so
No, that was a different thing. That was
sure?
Yeah, that was Senator Carthus.
No, I think they wanted to meet in a tea house. I think, well, doesn't matter. Okay, we're just meeting somewhere.
There's two different meetings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, I've confused myself, haven't I?
I mean, I don't know if it really matters where we meet her, so just.
Oh yeah, no,
It
it's
might
just that
do.
she was going to meet you at her house, as far as I remember. So
Okay, yeah, then that's good. I maybe I just, I probably messed up.
No, it was a public location.
Meeting the senator at the Portsmouth Club the day after the grand day of exaltation.
yes, which is a tea house.
Someone's got a lot of notes taken down.
Yes. Okay, so we are going to meet with Arya Makatis, and then there's also this meeting with the senator that is happening the day after the day of our exaltation.
Yes, so that's a few days away.
Okay, and today we're still on the lead up to the grand day of exaltation, right?
Yeah.
Because there's there's gonna be a big party that day. That I don't think we've yet had a chance to party.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get to talking.
Did you want to head straight to her house, or did you want to do anything else beforehand? Like,
I think I'm good.
Especially
just
like it's
head
evening.
right there.
You know.
On the way there, I would be going over the information that I learnt through my conversation with the others, inform everyone else of my suspicions and stuff, and find out if anyone else knows anything about ghosts or hauntings or anything of the sort.
Haunted, you say?
I'm going to
Like-
say probably not, but can I roll for it?
yeah, you could roll religion or occultism.
Nah.
I seem very interested, but I have no idea. Wow.
And it would be a
ghosts.
blind roll.
That's
I-
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember if I already made one, but I also might try to make an occultism about the
I think you and
haunting.
I already did when it came up in conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
It's only
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
else that didn't.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I'm not trained in either yet. I will be trained in occultism. at
Neither
some
am
point.
I, but you know.
Yeah, you don't have to be trained to do occult knowledge.
Really? Okay, then I'm
Mhm.
also
Yeah.
gonna try.
Right.
No, it's only if the skill specifies, like if you're doing treat wounds with medicine, you have to be trained.
I for some reason I thought for recall knowledge there was also a requirement.
No, because it's a case of you can just have stumbled across the right information sometimes.
No.
Okay. So, yeah. Forgorum, you know a little bit about hauntings,
Oh wow. Okay.
but not very much. So if you have a question, I can answer that question,
hmm
or I can just tell you a bit of general information.
I think the main question would be: are they very rare in this city? Like it would be a rare occurrence, even by haunting standards, or are there some happening a couple a year or whatever?
So, in most places, in most like settled places, people take measures to avoid allowing that kind of thing to happen. So, like cremating bodies rather than burying them stops them from rising as undead. And you've got priests and things who can try and deal with stuff. Clerics and things.
So it's very unusual for there to be any
It's
sort of
not
haunting.
very unusual though, because it does happen occasionally. So I wouldn't quite. I would say it's unusual, but not very unusual.
Cool.
If that makes sense.
Yep.
And are we aware of the kind of basic premise of ghosts? Like, am I, with whatever I got before, am I aware of just how ghosts work as a, the idea of, oh, they have the unfinished business, they're,
Yeah, I
in
think you are.
response to some sort of trauma? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it must be, it's clearly something to do with these fires then. With this, something has not been properly handled there.
Could be a
Maybe
previous
someone
victim
has
or
shared some
someone who was actually actively doing it in the past.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we'll have to find out when we get there. If it is the house of a previous victim, then that should solve our problem, or at least this mystery, quickly, even if the fires may not be solved.
It might even like if we are right in our suspicion that her family had something to do with the fires, it might also be connected to that.
Yes, some sort of vengeance haunting.
Yeah.
Do we know if this family, if this home has been in her family for a couple of generations or not? Do any of you know? Have we looked into the family of this person?
I think
I remember I
neither
found out
has
they had
an.
an auction.
Yeah, I think you
yeah.
crit succeeded even. So I don't know if you know that, but like you know a lot about the family for some reason.
I know that you mentioned that this person comes from a family who used to be rich and now is poor. Just wondering if this
Yes.
person's family had purchased this house a couple of generations back and remains poor to this day, or if this is a fairly recent occurrence and maybe she hasn't. Maybe her parents weren't born in this house or died in this house. Maybe it's a house that she's purchased because it's all she can afford. Just wondering if you know that.
Yes.
That would
GM, is
track
that
because Eastport is not a particularly well-off district, so that would track with a family who've fallen from favor.
Hmm.
okay? Yeah. Are we able to find the house? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can guide us. I know Eastport.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you can find the house easily enough. It's around here. Nearish to the docks though, so probably more like here. It's Eastport docks are the smaller of Apara's ports, and they are definitely a lot shabbier than Westport. So you do
Westport
pass
is like the dry canal area.
Westport is this area.
Yeah, is that where we were before? That was kind of like those big dry canals.
No.
Okay, because we met with like the hobgoblin in a previous.
Yeah,
place.
that happened on the island.
That was on the island under here.
On the island around the bridge area.
Okay. Yeah, under the bridge.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. You know
Yeah.
these streets well. Sorry.
Told you I know my way
Yeah.
around these streets.
You just kind of got her face a bit, brow furrowed a bit at the various smells and the sort of just general unpleasantness of the place.
Smells like home.
You grew up in this place?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I kind of grew up all around these places. What can I say? I got to know your kind fairly well.
My kind.
You know, posh, rich, full of yourself, you know?
Yes. I'm sure you did.
Your kind seems
I
to want a
doubt
lot
you've
of
ever
work
met
done.
Yeah, not
I know for a fact
surprising.
you've never met anyone like me. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Somebody was speaking up there.
Well, I certainly have never met anyone like you.
Thank you. Yes. Truly exceptional. Are unique.
Yeah, I feel like your situation at court is pretty unique. You coming from a not human family is very unusual and probably not very well regarded.
Well, yes. Yes. Yes, we have had our troubles. They have never been good to us in the court. Whatever we do, they want to take and claim for themselves. I'm sure you've seen plenty of it too. Those gestures at the fetchling.
Yes, I have certainly seen my fair share of that.
Yes.
Humans thinking they own everything.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And when you win, they see it as a personal affront to them. When you're doing well, that's a human who could be doing better and who could have your position. It's simply envy and weakness, but it's aggravating. Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, don't
Kelsey's keeping a very discreet silence at this point.
I wonder why.
You rich are all alike, human and non-human.
Can't disagree with that.
Of course you would say that.
Everybody wants my
Ah.
services, doesn't matter what race they are.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, would they want your services so much if you've been born a goblin?
Hey, I get paid for services quite frequently too.
Well, I can assure you I've been born into a rich family and no one wants my services, so at least you're wanted some way.
I don't care, as long as they have the money.
Yes.
You may be born
Word
in a
about
rich
you. Where are you
family,
from?
but if you want some work, feel free to tag along with me. I'll find you some work to do.
That's actually
Yes.
an interesting offer, but
Now, they're not suited to your type of work, as he looks at Colin looks at the fetchling. Look at their hands. Too soft.
Yeah, they can make great decoys.
you'd be surprised to what I'm capable of, but maybe I can show you later.
You'll certainly see, eh?
Soft, hard, calloused hands, broken by brute labor, are not the mark of someone's capability. That's a bit of foolishness. Soft, well cared for hands. That is how one gets true things of importance done. You don't see many treaties or theorems written by calloused, hard-knuckled hands, broken by the stone and the pick.
Nor do you
Don't
see
see
the
many.
paperwork that stuff's built upon without hard calloused hands either.
And soft hands, if they're dead, don't bright a thing.
Well, but calloused hands do neither, so.
Oh, took a dark turn. I think you'll find the further away you stand from any group of people, the more alike they seem. So, yeah, one could generalize it kind of looks around Eastport. So one could generalize that this was an area of malcontents and thieves and grafters and but obviously when one looks closer, one sees individuals and everyone with their own goals and aspirations and dreams. And I think you'll find is the closer you look at the nobility, you'll find similarly those of us who care for the country and want everyone who's part of our country and our empire to do well, regardless of uh, their beginnings. Whereas you'll find others amongst the nobility who take a much more entitled and obnoxious view. Not all of us are alike.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Could have said it shorter, but not better.
Sometimes fewer words are better. Sometimes more words are better.
Balgrim lets out a big yawn. Finished it?
You can think what you like of the noble gifts, and I will think what I do.
One thing I
You've
know.
probably arrived.
Sorry, I was just gonna say one thing I know is that regardless of rich or poor, there are honest, hard workers, and there are scums of the earth.
And which one are you?
Certainly.
I'm the bridge that connects them all.
Well, let's hope we don't find more of the scum. I think we're near the place now.
You are indeed. So Arya Makatis has asked you to her home, which is not looking the best. It's a house rather than a flat, but it's kind of dilapidated. It's not well cared for. She obviously doesn't have the money her family used to have. So do you want to just knock on the door and head in, or how are you gonna like peek around first?
I'd be going up to knock on the door unless anyone else wants to say or do anything before we do.
I do have one thing. I want to see if there are marks of fire damage on the building.
Okay, you can do a perception check.
Like burn marks or something.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I'm great at those. I'm not. I'm quite bad. Is this a blind roll or just a public
Yeah,
one? I feel like
blind
I'll
roll.
notice if I don't notice anything. Oh, okay.
Can I do a blind perception
that
roll
was
as
private,
like
not
just
blind.
a
No worries.
general glance as I'm walking up, kind of thing?
Mhm.
So I'm not looking for anything in particular, but if anything catches my eye, kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, sure. Alright, so Nita is looking for burn marks and evidence of fire, and Kaylin is just having a general look over.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. So, Kaylin, you don't spot anything out of the ordinary. Nita, you do kind of, like, there's something off about the building. And then you look a bit closer, and you're
She rubs
fairly
her
sure...
kind of thumb. Oh.
Sorry.
Yeah, she gives like kind of rubs the facade of the place with her thumb.
It feels warmer than it should, and as you look closer, you can see kind of just very faintly in the kind of dimming light. It looks like there's smoke coming off the building. Very, very faint amounts of smoke, just generally rising from the roof.
Oh dear. I think there might be a fire inside. And she's going to go and grab her staff and hurry up to the door.
I'm just going to kick the door in.
Good spot.
I'll let them
So you're kicking the door in?
Yeah, there's a fire inside. Go and kick the door in.
Okay. As you kick the door and you hear a yelp from inside, you kick out the door. Sorry. You probably should do athletics to try and kick the door down properly.
Do you want it blind or just normal?
No, open.
Force open action. Yeah, that's the force open actions. That's with the simple DC table. Sorry, I'm in a GM mode.
Yeah, no worries. So yes. Right. So I'm afraid that does not manage to kick the door down.
I'd like to
But-
lean forward at this stage and just try opening it with the handle.
Okay. I'm afraid it is locked, but you do hear footsteps inside.
I will
kind of rattled the door a little.
I will try to say, not yelling, but say loudly enough that I should be heard, that it is just us. We've come. My friends think your house is on fire. Please open up.
There's smoke coming off the building. Nita bonks on the door with her staff to emphasize her point.
Is that what's wrong? I'll cast detect magic then.
Okay. You do detect some magic, and also the door opens. The locks click and clunk, and then the door swings open. And Arya Makata stands there with a kind of what's the word? Like, not frustrated. Flustered look on her face.
Okay.
Hello again. These are my very caring friends who are concerned for your safety. Is your house on fire?
What? No, don't be ridiculous.
Smoke coming off your house. You don't see it?
I didn't.
I also don't see it, actually.
Yes. There is magic around here.
Oh.
There's magic? What kind?
You don't know what kind because your detect
No.
magic is only level 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry, it's read aura that we gotta do to do that, which I did not prep today. Shit. I can leave a sigil though.
Nice.
I apologize for my friend's reactions. They were merely concerned for your safety.
Yeah, and like the door isn't broken, luckily.
Yay for
No,
bad
the door is
rolls.
not broken. But Arya kind of steps out the door and you can see she's armed. She's got a sword at her hip. Presumably she grabbed that because she thought someone was breaking into the house.
Fair enough.
And she kind of inspects the door and says, "Well, at least you didn't break it." She says, "All right, come in, come in. Let's not startle my neighbours too much."
I'll step through.
Very
just
sorry
before he
about
goes
that.
in, I think Kelsey would just sniff the building, see if you can smell smoke, or if it's like just a visual thing.
You can do a perception check.
Also not very good at this, but we'll see.
Yeah, you can kind of smell smoke.
So yeah, yeah, I'll kind of mention that as we kind of walk in. So yeah, it's not just a visual thing. There is actual smoke. It's not an illusion or something.
Really?
I
Well,
don't smell any smoke.
yeah, you can smell it.
I want to try and sniff around and see if I can locate the source of the smoke.
If you
Yeah.
can smell it.
If I can smell it.
Yeah.
You can do perception.
Do that.
So for Gorum, as you kind of have a sniff, you do feel like the smoke smell is kind of just generally suffusing the house. It's not coming from somewhere in specific.
It's all around us.
I suspect our theories may be correct then. This may be some kind of supernatural phenomena. If you were not caught inside with an arsonist.
Arya says, "No arsonists here." And says, "Well, you wanted to help with the situation, didn't you?"
Yes. And as I said, I know your father or your family in the past has been involved with that group. I'm wondering what information you know on that side of the world.
When you say that group, what exactly are you referring to?
The arsonists.
The arsonists, right. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were talking about the subversives again, and I was like, yeah. So she says, my uncle was, well, let's sit down, why don't we? She leads you to like a shabby kitchen and dining room area, and starts like sit you down, offers to make you tea.
Oh,
I'll accept the offer.
kind. Yeah.
Got to be polite.
Yes.
Thank you. Tea would be lovely.
Said for the tea.
I'll actually offer to assist
Do you
in
have
making it.
Sorry?
Actually, what's a tea would be? What teas would they have here?
Tea.
They have a lot of types of tea. Taldor loves tea.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll offer to assist in making the tea. Making and
If she's
serving.
poor, she's probably only got one blend.
That's a fair point. Whatever tea you have will suffice.
Okay. She says, well, I've just got the one type, but it's one of my last luxuries I allow myself, so.
It is very kind of you to share.
Well, if
I
you
can
can
offer
help
coffee
me.
if you like, actually.
Is my voice
I
coming
prefer
through,
tea.
by the way? Sorry. Because it
Fine.
wasn't lighting up in Discord.
Joe?
Oh,
Sorry, I was just wondering if my voice is coming through because it wasn't lighting up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
yeah, your
Mostly,
voice is
I
coming
think.
through.
Okay.
It's fine, don't worry.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, she says, well, if you can help me with this situation, I would, I would give up tea for that. Yeah. So she starts boiling water and getting the tea out and all that stuff. She needs to be boiling the water for quite a while. It's not very clean water around here. Yeah. So she says, where shall I begin?
From the start, if you know of a
Sure.
start.
Yes. Tell the whole sordid tale.
Okay.
Or, well, as sordid as it is.
Okay. So she she begins with what she knows, which is that her uncle died some years ago, and his sorry, I'm just looking for that part of my notes. I seem to have lost it, so that's great.
Love that when that happens.
Yes, so the there were a number of her uncle was a member of a small group. It consisted of him, Turio Macatus, and two others, Mulla Voculus and Eglicio Gala. And they were interested, she says, in certain types of magic.
Can you give me the name again? The names?
Oh, yeah. I'll copy and paste them.
Thank you.
I heard one of these before. Arculatus.
From what she understands, they were interested in certain types of magic that were somewhat illicit, forbidden. However, before she was born, that was when they were mainly active. She knows this information because she inherited some of his diaries. She flicked through them a little bit. But she didn't read them in great detail. She no longer has them. However, what she can tell you is that of these three, only one is left alive. Turio, her uncle, and Monilla, both died 10 and 7 years ago, respectively. Which you would know is when the same
So-
years of the last two fires.
Oh,
See why. This cannot be a coincidence.
No.
seems very strange, yeah.
What sort of magic was this? Are you familiar?
She kind of grimaces a little bit and says, I believe they were interested in diabolism.
Do I know what that
Mm.
is?
Devil worship.
More than devil worship, the foul conjuration of devils into this world. Of all the planes to bring a being from, it is a dreadful thing to do. It invites nothing but harm.
We see enough of that
And-
mucking
Oh.
Cheliacs.
Yes.
Just
Yeah. True. Mm.
Such magic.
She,
Can I make an occultism? See what I know about that actually. So I don't. I say.
it would be
Finish that for a
religion.
second. Okay. Oh no. Would
You can do
occultism
religion.
work to know about what you do to like summon a devil?
I think it is specifically religion. I'll double check if you can do it with the cultism though.
It's always weird what occultism can and can't do.
Yeah.
I think it's actually pretty much everything that isn't religion.
Yeah, it was.
So
It would specifically be religion, I'm
Yeah.
afraid.
Ah, damn.
yeah.
Yeah, if you were to
No,
try and like know knowledge about a specific devil, then you could potentially use occultism, but otherwise it's religion for that sort of
I think
stuff.
if you're okay with that, I might roll a religion.
Yeah.
I've done some religious studies in my time.
For work.
Kelsey
you
would
study
have
everything
Yeah.
in a row.
liked.
Okay. What kind of thing would you like to know?
um,
And while you're thinking of that, Arya will say, I would appreciate if you do not spread this knowledge around. My family has been through enough as is.
Sure.
I'd be wanting to
Um,
know what is generally involved with summons and stuff like that. And if the arson fire, instead of being arson, is likely to be triggered by these devils coming through.
Okay. So, if you want to do, like, kind of, so there's two types of summoning. There's the summoning where you summon them temporarily, and the summoning where you summon them permanently, or for a certain amount of time, but like rather than the temporary, only a few minutes. So if it's for a few minutes, then that should cast like a regular spell. But if it's for a long period of time, that would often, with diabolism, would probably be done via a sacrifice of some kind.
Alright.
And would that be in the form of just the sacrifice of a life, or in terms of like setting fires would be the sacrifice?
It would usually just be the form of a life, but it doesn't necessarily that doesn't like preclude it being a fiery sacrifice.
I will share this information with the group.
Oh,
While they're having their conversation, am
Mhm.
I able to do a check to see if I can figure out what might be causing this smoke smell that's permeating and the magic for this area?
Yeah, I think for that you could do occultism or religion. So Nita wants to have that as well then.
Dang it, I was hoping for an Arcana.
I would also like to ask the lady Arya, how long have you been living in this house?
Mm.
Actually, I just want to know: have you already been living here when the fire, like 7 years ago, when the fire broke out?
Yeah. No, she's just recently started living here.
All right.
Like last year, I think it was. Yeah, last year.
So I don't know if Sir Kelsey picked anything
what
up
you say
from
so.
his religion check.
I'm afraid not. No.
Okay.
And what was that, Nick?
Oh, it's be confirmed. That's cool.
And
If what you say about devils is true, and Oculus, Oculus, or what was his name? Oculus, wasn't that the name as well of that senator? Something. I heard that name earlier, didn't I?
I believe we did hit one of Oculus's name earlier. Yes.
Yeah, I heard about a Gala of Oculus. Or
No, Gala and Voculus were two separate people.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But only in Glacio, Gala is still alive. Like the Voculus dude that was in the same group as Turio died, but maybe he's related.
Yes.
Like maybe they're related, but I don't know how the.
If it is required to make a sacrifice to summon, perhaps these fires were started as a sort of a burnt offering in order to welcome some foul powers. Even while that such a thing might conjure a powerful being temporarily, it might also affect a incredibly powerful effect in the present. The expense of a extremely valuable component could have been used for some sort of, but I'm sure we would have known, or were the fires the goal? But this cannot be a coincidence. Either the fires were a result of the diabolism, or they were the cause of it. They were perpetrated for this purpose. Either case, if we want to stop these fires, we need to locate, if there is to be another one, whatever is the next summoning.
Do I know with the religion check that I got if such creatures tend to be summoned for making deals and bargains, or if they're summoned for other reasons?
Component of diabolism.
Okay.
Yes.
Question: what would I know about the Gala family?
You could do a society check. Or a relevant law skill.
Maybe it'd be society.
It would be society, yeah.
I think I would.
So the Gala family, they're not like ostentatiously wealthy, but they're relatively wealthy. Yeah. The current head of the family is Aglacio Gala, and he's quite old. But he's relatively healthy. Relatively healthy for his age. He's not super healthy. But yeah, he doesn't spend much time in society anymore because of his, because he's getting a bit decrepit. But yeah, he is alive and out there somewhere. As for general information about the family, anything specific, or should I just tell you stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell me some stuff, but I think one of the things he was trying to think about is, it's like historically, has the family's fortunes improved recently, relatively recently in geopolitical terms, if you like.
Yeah. Not particularly.
Okay.
Like they yeah, they haven't like had any particular changes in their fortunes recently.
Okay.
Been kind of a holding pattern, I guess.
Yeah, I was just trying to understand is if, for example, the other two had died and the Gala family had suddenly kind of come into wealth or something like that. Okay. So nothing obvious that would kind of point to, I've made a deal and I've benefited from it as a family. Nothing that we would kind of I would be aware of in terms of like sort of gossip or that type of thing.
Nothing major, no.
Perhaps their goals were not for that purpose, then. Perhaps mystical purposes. I know that there are those who practice esoteric practices among the planes in order for enlightenment or to learn secret knowledge, occult truths. If they are magicians of some sort, perhaps it's an occult purpose for a love of knowledge or a want for secrets. Then we almost certainly must find this Gala family. If they are the only ones left alive, almost certainly this summoning will be done by them. And if it is tied to the festival, and if there's reason to suspect that it's going to happen again, we have... How many days do we have until the Grand Day of Exaltation?
The Grand Day of Exaltation is on the 18th, and it's currently the 14th.
We have 4 days before another round of this perversion of the art of conjuration is practiced.
I think I'd like to ask who this house was purchased from.
Yeah, it was, Arya thinks for a moment. She seems a bit confused, and then tells you that it was kind of, after, it would have been the first one actually. It was purchased, from, a building company, so just like the company who built it fairly recently.
Okay, but there's apparently, not that I know, evidence of smoke and like visually and smelling smoke, according to my friends at least.
Yes.
Does this building look old and decrepit, or does it still
does look
fairly...
a bit dilapidated? Yeah, it looks a bit too dilapidated for its age.
Sorry, did I get anything off of my religion check before?
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
That's right. I was just letting others do their thing. I'll interrupt my brother though. That's not a problem.
Yeah, that was about
8 minutes ago. That
yeah,
was about
no, I mean,
the source of the smoke, where the smoke might come
source
from.
of smoke, yes.
That's what I was getting to as well.
Yeah, me first. That's why I interrupted you.
Okay. So yeah, it's not impossible for a haunting to manifest physical symbols, like smoke or the smell of smoke or the visuals of smoke.
Yep. Interesting.
Are you sharing that knowledge or not at the moment?
Yeah, I'll share the knowledge. Sorry, I was just thinking about how things might be progressing.
Arya kind of, when you say that is the symbol of haunting, she seems very concerned and says, so my house is haunted as well? I thought it was me. And
It
gods.
could be you, and your haunting on you is affecting the house. So,
she looks very
Have you only...
You mind if we go and have a look around?
Go ahead.
Sweet.
I'd like to check something outside, actually. Very quickly. I would like to go and check to see if any other houses in the area are likewise emitting smoke.
Okay.
Smart.
She has only had these nightmares since she moved here, right?
No, she's had the nightmares since the start of the Grand Week of Exaltation.
So it's only recent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
She's been living here for about a year.
Okay, so is this the first grand of excitation she...
Yes.
Yeah.
First
Okay.
time grand excitation has happened while she's been living here.
Alright.
Do you have a family heirloom or anything like that that you may carry with you on a regular basis?
She sorry. She kind of thinks for a moment and says, I have a brooch, I suppose.
Do you mind if
May I
I...
see it?
Yeah, I was going to ask if I can have a look
Do you
at
mind
that.
if he sees it?
Yeah, she'll detach it from her coat and offer it to you. It's let me just find the thing. It's kind of like a badge, a brooch. It's a symbol from, she explains, from when her family used to be senators. Quite old.
Do I recognize the symbol at all as I'm looking at it?
It's the family crest.
Yeah. Can I inspect it for any kind of signs of haunting or anything like that? And I do explain to her that I personally believe it's the house that's haunted, not her herself. I'm just covering the basis, as I'd like to investigate this for any such signs.
Yeah. So yeah, that you could do religion or occultism here to identify magic, which takes 10 minutes.
Religion it is.
And yeah,
I'll try
meanwhile,
occultism at the
Kelsey.
same time, I guess.
Yeah.
I try
Okay.
using occultism on it at the same time.
Yeah.
As we're both
just pour over
looking
it
down over it and together.
You know, you're not as foolish as you look, knave.
I just keep quiet as I
Meanwhile,
keep inspecting.
Could we have the check from Sir Kelsey as well to perception check on the buildings outside?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you don't spot anything unusual about any of the other buildings.
Okay, I will come back in.
Nita and Caleb, as you are examining this brooch, this badge, it's quite. She was just wearing it like on her coat, so it should be fairly cold because it's metal. But it feels quite warm. To touch. However, you aren't able to identify any kind of haunting magic on it, though you think it might have some magic. But it seems more like oh, what's the thing? Rather than necromancy, it seems like it's conjuration.
Interesting.
You say it seems to have necromancy magic on it?
Not necromancy.
No, instead of necromancy, it has conjuration.
Oh, that's my specialty.
Ah.
If I had prepped to read aura, it'd be very useful to be able to get a. But yeah, okay. Maybe can I try to like activate it since I'm familiar with using magic devices? Could I try to activate the thing, not knowing what the effect is, but maybe try to activate it or identify what that spell does?
If I'm able to, I'd like to try and disrupt her from doing that for a bit, as I'd like to see if I can work out through Arcana what may be causing it, rather than activating an unknown magical source.
Neither's never, the greatest discoveries were all made very dangerously.
Okay, so which one do you want to do? Just try and identify it first, a bit more first?
I want to be trying to disrupt any activation of this to try and inspect it myself.
Yes.
I'm going to try to activate it.
So I think that there's got to be some kind of like roll to see who can beat who with this.
We make a public like a competing Arcana checks or something?
I think it'd probably be.
I was actually gonna have it to be like a reflex save.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking. Dex.
Oh shit! Okay.
Dex based.
All right.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
One of us is trying
Nita's
to
trying to activate whatever this magic device does, and Kaelin is trying to stop
disrupt
Nita from
that
activating whatever this
activation.
magic device does.
Alright.
Nita has found a conjuration magic. She wants to do it. She wants to turn on the conjuration machine. Because maybe it'll have a clue, and maybe she gets to see some cool magic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So is this competing reflex and Arcana?
No, I think so PFG doesn't generally do contested rolls. So
Yeah.
I think this should be like
Just
one
do-
of you does the one of them, and the other one sets the DC. So I'm just trying to figure out who should be. I think
Well, I think if anything,
think
the
it should
one
be Nita's.
activating the magic, because I'm trying to resist it. So I think,
Yeah.
yeah, I think the activating of
Okay.
the magic would be the setting of the DC, and then I've got to try and react and prevent it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Nita, your
Okay.
Arcana DC, which is your Arcana plus 10, and
Yeah,
then
that's gonna
Kaelin
be
does a reflex
17.
save. Okay.
Alright, so what am I rolling? Acrobatics?
You're rolling reflex. Reflex.
Oh, yeah, there. Okay, yeah. Off
Yeah.
to the side, I forgot about
I
that.
think it should probably be a public roll since
Public or private?
the DC is
Public. Public. Yeah.
Watch me roll low. Yeah, of course, I roll low.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Nita, you do get to activate this device. However, as you are trying to like twist things around and like activate this little badge brooch, this little brooch, you are not able to. It just kind of it glows a bit warmer in your hand briefly, but it just fizzles. It doesn't seem to have enough magic stored left in it to activate properly.
Perhaps its charges were used already.
Well,
It
that
could be
could
something
have
akin
been
to a wand.
that could have been
It
disastrous.
also seems like a very bad idea to, yeah.
Now, do you mind if I take a look
No.
at that and see if I can work out what's... Unless you want to look over it and see if you can work it out without activating it?
I can try that too. But it seems like activating it would be the most obvious way to find out what it does.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
100%.
simply approaching this as a
But it could
spell.
also be detrimental to our safety as well.
Ah,
Yeah, as Kelsey comes back in, it's like yes. Given we know there's been a number of vast conflagrations in the area, burning down dozens of houses. One might suspect a little caution might be warranted.
Oh,
on
you're
this
back.
occasion, at least.
How was your stroll outside? See anything interesting?
This seems to be the only house smoking. I
Mm.
wondered if there may have been a wider kind of area curse or manifestation in effect, but appears to be just this house.
It's just this house. Then this might be some sort of magical locus for whatever effect is going on. Perhaps the rituals were performed here. Or, no. But the chances of that are, that's improbable.
Yeah, I think I don't know much about devils other than knowing they're very bad business. But yeah, if Arya's only lived in the house for a year, and her uncle died 10 years ago, seems unlikely.
I'll ask.
Feels as though either the brooch or Arya is the centre of this effect.
Also, the house was only finished building about 5 years ago.
Mm.
So I
5 years ago.
I feel a visit to the Galicio Gala may be our best next step.
Wait, so can I just make sure I've got the timeline straight in my head? The house was finished being built about 5 years ago, but she moved in about 1 year ago, and she bought it
Yes.
from the builders. So it was sitting here
Yes.
for 4 years after it was built with no one in it.
I got the numbers wrong. It was 5 years after the. Yeah, no, I got the numbers right. Yeah, it was sitting here without people living in it for that length of time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They found it
Interesting.
difficult to sell because it was in an area that had already burnt down twice.
I can't see why it's a smoking hot house.
Alright. Is there a basement in, or upstairs to this house, or is it a single story?
There is an upstairs. There's not a basement.
Okay. I'm gonna go and have a look around upstairs and see if I can find any symbology or arcane or occultism symbols or anything that might be leading to the haunting, basically.
And I'd like to ask Arya some more questions.
I will follow you upstairs.
So, okay.
We should perhaps seek out this gala, though it is getting late in the evening. We may need to do it tomorrow. Wow. But, Arya, why don't you try sleeping outside of this house? Get an inn somewhere in town. I can spare a silver piece, get you a room there, see if you have those nightmares there. If you do, then we know that the curse is tracking you. But if you don't, then we know it's tracking the house.
Alright. Arya says she'll try that. She seems a bit nervous, but she seems like a nervous sort really recently at least. So yes, she agrees to that. She says she'll pay for it herself.
One last thing. That brooch. We should keep that on one of us. See if that provokes nightmares among us. Then we can test these 3 different variables in different situations. One of us can have the brooch on us. One can have you can sleep away from the place. If no one has nightmares, then it's clearly the house. But if it's caused by the brooch, whoever has it should have nightmares. Or if it's caused by you, you should still have nightmares in the inn.
If we want to cover the basis like that, then someone realistically should stay here as well.
Yes.
Who wants to stay the night in a potentially haunted house?
Sorry.
I could do that.
I want to find out what
So,
Fulgrim
did you want
has.
me to roll? Yeah, did you want me to roll something for looking around for?
Yeah. So you can look around. However, you don't spot anything obvious that's like obviously signs of words, things, bad things. Yeah. You don't spot any like occult or diabolic signs.
Yep.
So the only thing on the house is
I'll
the
go back to
smoke.
the group and let them know.
I will turn to Arya and say if she's willing to part with the brooch for a night, I'm happy to look after it for her. That I'll take very good care of it and see her in the morning with the brooch in hand. Understanding that it's an heirloom and that it may be something of significance to her.
And I'll stay in the house. I've got no dramas with that if it's about fire. I'm not afraid of any heat.
I will. I'll arrange for us to call upon Sir Iglecio on the morrow.
Excellent. Zero, did you want to stay here as well? It could help in case there is a ghost. I have heard there are those who can punch ghosts.
I'm willing to stay here. I don't know if I can punch a ghost, but I always wanted to try.
No,
You did?
I can hit them.
I don't know.
You always wanted to punch a ghost?
I mean, now
Do
that
now.
I mean, maybe I didn't know I always wanted to, but now that you say it, I know I always wanted to.
Well, then if all of that is arranged, I think I will go and retire for the night, and we can reconvene tomorrow morning. Here, perhaps?
Yeah, I think.
Very
well. Before you all leave, Arya is going to ask if any of you can recommend an inn.
Yeah,
She doesn't. She hasn't.
I will. So Kelsey will be staying in an inn at the moment. Reasonably salubrious, but not too salubrious. But comfortable, I think. Given he doesn't have access to his family's money at the moment.
Yeah.
So I think he would recommend the inn that he's staying at, so that if she has any problems during the night, she can call upon him.
Okay.
And I think I might be able to make some suggestions of good value inns.
Yes.
Knowing my way around the town.
Meter probably permanently rents a room at some inn. Has like one she's in reserve for a while. It's probably not the nicest place, but she might know a thing or two.
Yeah. That's why I was talking value for cheaper.
Yes. Well, I trust the aristocrat to know what luxury and comfort are like.
So,
I think she's probably.
Sorry, you go.
Oh, okay. Arya is probably gonna choose to go in a cheaper inn because she's not super well off at the moment. So yeah, one of the ones Kaelin has recommended, I think.
So Kelsey would pay for her to stay at his inn.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She will accept that, although she's a bit uncomfortable with charity.
I mean, it's mostly that we bullied her out of her house, so we're trying to help her.
Yeah, and so Kelsey wants her nearby in case of problems during the night.
Yeah. I will quickly go home and grab my bow. If we're gonna stay here and something weird happens, I'd rather be armed, even though I also have my arms. But I'll quickly run home and grab my stuff. Basically, because I think I didn't have my bow with me the whole day. Because it would have messed up my aesthetics.
I sleep with my weapons by my side, dagger under my pillow.
Classic rogue stuff.
Do only Kaelin and I stay here the night, or does anyone else stay?
No, just the two of you.
Okay.
Fulgrim's staying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he literally said he's not afraid of no fire, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Cyril and Fulgrim, not Kaelin.
Okay.
You know, I'm staying at my own place with the brooch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's important. So we then got three views of what could be causing the problem.
Someone's house is going to burn down.
Okay. So.
Okay.
So Kelsey, when he gets to the inn, he'll have them provide him a pen and paper, and he'll write a note to Iglesia Gala, and just say, so Kelsey Witherwood requests the pleasure of your company. He'll be calling on the morrow. He'll be a wax seal with his signet ring on and all that kind of jazz, and ask the innkeeper to have a youngster kind of run it over to Gala family residence.
Okay. You can do that. All right. So, the night draws closer.
I suggest, like, I walk up to Fogorum. I think it might be, like, best if one of us stays awake at all times. Or what do you think?
Oh, I don't know. Do you want to stay awake and I'll sleep? That way, if the nightmares come, no problems here.
All right. Then I guess I won't sleep tonight.
Well, do you want to risk the nightmares? I don't mind. Ghost comes, I'll fight it.
All right, then yeah, you go sleep. I stay awake, and if you sleep fine, I might take a nap later. But for now, I will stay awake and try to keep an ear out or an eye out, both.
Oh yeah, we probably should probably before we go, we exchange the like locations where everybody's staying, so that if people need to find others in the night, Meter gives the inn that she's been staying at.
Doing that.
In case anyone needs to find her, 'cause she's the only one sleeping like not with the other rest of the party in some way, so she's just having a nice night, just having a cup of cocoa.
Doing that, I wouldn't share my place of residence. I would share a safe house that I use, but I wouldn't tell anyone else that it's not my place.
Okay.
It's where I'll be staying.
You share a place of residence,
Yep.
not your place.
Yes.
Classic road stuff.
I'm not gonna give away where I live.
Gives the golden cow in.
Nice.
So Kelsey, as he's wont to do when he's sleeping somewhere private, will have Kiyomi guarding his rest. I'm trying to see how long I can go as a summoner without actually summoning anything in sight of anybody else.
Yeah, it's crazy. We have a monk who's not done a single flurry of blows. I've not cast a single spell slot spell. The summoner hasn't summoned. The rogue hasn't stuck attack.
By the way,
but I have
also
stealth.
gotten my bow just now. Like, as far as you all know, I'm not a monk. I'm just a dude.
Just a dude that punches things.
Yeah, not even. I have a bow.
I think Neder is the only one who is vaguely aware that you're a monk, but I think she probably just assumes you're like you have the bald head and the rosary beads.
Yeah, we talked like about it last time, but yeah, the others weren't there. You just know I'm bald. That's kind of it.
Yeah.
There's a bold dude coming around with us.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I'm just a guy with a big hammer that casts some magic.
True. Yeah. But yeah, we've seen you cast magic at this point.
Yeah, but you've also seen me carry around a big hammer like it's nothing.
True.
But we've also seen you fail to kick a door in.
That too. That was my short legs, all right? Leave me alone.
During the evening, I did want to do as a short, I guess like a very short downtime action. I wanted to, with some of my starting gold, I bought a scroll of Unseen Serpent, and I wanted to just add that to my spellbook.
Okay, yeah.
So, I think I have to make an Arcana check to do that. But
yes.
Okay.
I'll just find
and only if I crit fail, I lose it. If I don't, I think I could just. I shouldn't assurance this. I'll just roll normally. Okay, great luck. My luck is still here.
That's a crit. That's a crit. You only spend 1 gold.
Oh, sick. Oh shit. Okay. So I lose 1 gold. I actually don't have 1 gold currently.
Oh.
Then you can't learn it.
Can I trade a little bit of opium for that spell? Can I retroactively sell my pesh?
Just sell it on the way home.
Okay. Yeah,
on your way home, you bypass what looks like a bunch of junkies and you sell it to them. Done.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Let's find some children. She goes and gives some urchins some drugs.
No.
Oh no.
Okay. Oh, I have
I think-
unseen servantess, which seems pretty useful.
I think I also picked up my shield when I went home and brought it back.
Okay.
What is this
Mm,
shield
alright.
and stuff? Alright.
I'd rather not get hit.
Mhm. Okay. So the night. Evening wears on into night, and in your various locations, you see the moon rising. Actually, you don't because it's a new moon this week. Sorry. So you see the sun setting, and the darkness coming in over the river Porthmoss.
Beautiful time of day.
Mhm. Kaelin, your night passes uneventfully. With the brooch, nothing happens.
Does the brooch remain warm to the touch, or does it, after a few hours, does it feel cold to the touch?
After a few hours, it does feel cold. Yes. Cyril and Fulgrim, as you are resting in the house, it takes you a while, but eventually you notice there's no longer a smell of smoke. Nita, you have a lovely night, resting in your inn. So Kelsey, about halfway through the night, in the early hours of the morning, starting to rain slowly, and you're woken by a scream.
Okay. Yep, I will go and investigate.
Okay. In as you head through the inn towards the room where, well, presumably towards the room where Arya was staying, you smell smoke.
I will knock on the door.
The door feels warm to touch, and you see, when you knock on the door, sorry, Arya kind of pulls it open, and her room is very slightly on fire.
Oh.
Okay.
She's evidently just woken from a nightmare, and part of the room is on fire.
Okay. So I have. Let me. So I think I have. Just bear with me 1 second. So I'm going to bring Kiyomi down. So I'm going to call. She's still in my room at the moment, which I'm going to assume is less than 120 feet away.
Yes. Should I share the image for Kiyomi?
You can, yes.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's
So
sick.
Kiyomi, yes, is a kind of a sort of an Oriental style dragon. Not super big at the moment. We may get there. With kind of gleaming blue eyes, and Arya will note that Sir Kelsey has like a glow coming from like the gap in his sort of night robe, which is part of the tattoo on his chest. He's glowing, and he'll say, "Don't be alarmed. I have a friend about to join us." to help extinguish the fire.
Mhm.
Kiyomi will arrive and will use her breath weapon to put out the fire. She has a cold breath weapon.
Very nice. So Kiyomi, yeah, sorry.
I'm saying she'll use it kind of this, try and use it in a controlled manner to, not kind of leave the whole room looking like the inside of a freezer or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Kiyomi can exhale this frosty air over the flames, which do cool down and die out. And Arya is kind of very obviously upset. She's saying, I could smell the burning flesh. I could hear them screaming. When I woke up, the room was on fire. I don't understand. This has never. I've had the nightmares, but they've never come into reality before.
Yeah. Take a breath. You're safe now. Yes, I suspect that this may accelerate as we get closer to the grand day, perhaps. But obviously, this is something that's affecting you rather than the brooch or the location or whatever. So I think if you gather your belongings, I'll go and get properly dressed, and we'll head back to your home. We don't want to put the inn at risk. And clearly we need to speak with Iglesio as a matter of urgency. But we'll go back and apprise the others of the situation.
Okay.
So I'll leave Kiyomi with you in case anything else happens, and I'll go and get dressed and go back and rejoin her in the room.
All right. So you can return. You can return when you've, and then escort her. You're escorting her back to her home, so you can travel through the city in the night. It's quieter now than it was during the day. The celebrations have died down a bit. Yeah, you can escort her back to the home where Volgrim and Cyril are having a nice rest.
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually after. Sorry, I'm just saying I probably also slept actually after it stopped smelling it. After Volgrim slept fine, I probably at least slept a few hours.
Yeah.
Cyril would have seen Volgrim curl up on a chair, literally hugging his mole.
So we'll come in midnight or middle of the night. Not trying to be quiet or anything. We'll just kind of open the door and kind of yes, we have unfortunate news. He says loudly as he kind of walks into the room, and he's unsummoned Kiyomi at this point, by the way. He did that before the war.
Is this
no, I think it's
the agreed arrival? By the way,
no. This is in the middle of the night.
Oh, okay.
So
we're still at our places.
Bring Arya back, so that we didn't burn the inn down.
Yeah.
So if there's going to be a fire, it's best it's in Eastport.
Alrighty.
Oh, we know how you stand.
So obviously you'll wake Cyril and Volgrim up as they kind of return back. So yes, Arya awoke from a nightmare to find a fire in her room, which we extinguished.
Oh.
So
Well,
that
yeah,
answers our question.
yeah. The house also stopped smelling of smoke a few hours after you left, so we thought, yeah. So apparently, this whole thing is tied to Arya. And her room caught fire?
Yes. Which worries me that this may accelerate as we get closer to the grand day.
Maybe the fires were never actually laid on purpose and it has always been
Some form of
oh
curse
God.
or haunting, yes. Perhaps a curse. I don't know. It's unusual. It's unusual for a haunting to go quiescent for such a long time. I would imagine. I'm not an expert on these things, but it strikes me, and also the uneven number of years between events, 10 years ago and then 7 years ago, makes me think someone is actively involved in this. So we shall call upon Sir Glacio first thing in the morning once our companions have arrived. I feel.
Yeah. That's kind of the last lead we have because I'm kind of lost at this point.
And I think I'd suggest that Arya maybe sleep if she can, but maybe we'll keep watch during the night to make sure no further unforeseen events.
Yes. We'll just keep something on the bucket of water handy.
So you can all set up a watch, and Arya will go in her own bed, and you can keep an eye out that the thing is going to set fire during the rest of the night.
Right.
And yeah, the next day will dawn. Although by the time it does, the house is smelling a bit smoky again.
There's a surprise.
Yeah.
Right. So meet up at the agreed place there. I think we're meeting up at the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just after dawn, I think. I'll be coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Good news, everyone. It's not the brooch, as I'm holding up the brooch. Nice cold brooch in my hand.
Brooch? Can I see
told
that?
you it was safe to. It was worth activating.
Yes, we discovered this during the night after Arya had nightmares at the inn, and I came down to find a fire in her room.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Arya. Sucks that it's you
Very
who's
concerning.
haunted. Wait, you woke up to fires?
Yeah, Arya screamed, and then they woke up.
You say you had a nightmare, and the fire came with nightmares.
Have I heard of anything like that happening in the past? Of haunting nightmares taking manifestation in real life?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask.
Well, the smoke is taking manifestation.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if I've heard of other cases of it, other than this.
I think you could do a recall knowledge here. I don't think it's anything you, off the top of your head, you would have heard of.
Can I occultism to see if I know about like dream magic or dream curses, things like that? Because I know that the plane of dreaming is is an actual place you can visit.
Yes.
Did I roll that blind? No, I did not.
What was the roll you said I could do, sorry?
You could do religion or occultism.
Oh, definitely religion. a 3.
It wasn't a 3.
No, it was a 4.
Okay. So Nita, you are going to learn some stuff. Kayla, I'm afraid you don't recall anything though. So
Oh. Did we lose connection?
no?
No?
Hello? Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
I can hear everyone.
Hello.
Hello?
None of us have
hello.
lost
Yeah.
connection.
Okay. So did we get so what happened with the results that were
Sorry.
anything?
Yeah, so Kaylin does not learn anything. Nita, you will learn something. Did you have a specific question or
Could this be some kind of dream magic? Like maybe her dreams are actually being manifested. It's not a curse, but it's her own PTSD or something. Dreams turning reality or something. That might be like if Nita's familiar with psychics or things like that can do weird stuff with their dreams.
You don't think that's what it is. It wouldn't like be out of place for a haunting. So if it is a haunting, that wouldn't like be something that doesn't make sense. But it could be something. It could be something to do with dream magic, but it's not like guaranteed. So it could still fit with a haunting.
We can add that one to the maybe category, but it is not enough to qualitatively change our assessment. Very well. Haunting still seems to be the lead.
So sorry, brain. Yeah. So you now have this arrangement to meet with Aglecio Gala, and you also have. Are you returning the brooch, by the way?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great.
Basically, as soon as I walk through the door with it, before anything else takes place, I'm handing it back to her straight away, before I even know that it's her.
She takes it, and she's obviously very appreciative, and she thanks you. She says, I really would hate to lose this. And yeah. So where were we? You had just woken up from a lovely night, and reconvened, and we're discussing what to do next, I believe.
Okay.
So I think we'd. So I think we were going to go and pay a call to Sir Glacio, but I didn't know if there was something else that somebody had mentioned.
I think we're just heading to Iglesias' place, and then now that we have the information and we're all gathered together again, so I think we can just head over there and prepare for, confronting whatever is going on here.
So yeah, like maybe we should agree before we talk to him. Like, do we want to just confront him with whatever knowledge we have, or do we try to be subtle about it, or like try to, I don't know, talk to someone else but him first? Like, basically, how do we want to reveal all the information we have?
No.
And are we bringing Arya with us?
True.
I'd probably say not bring Arya and not reveal everything we have. You've always got to keep an ace up your sleeve.
How are we going to talk to? But what are we gonna tell him then? Hey, we want to see you and like talk to you about your old friends, like not related to the fires at all, by the way. Like I don't know. Like how are we gonna be subtle about this?
Well,
Yeah,
we
what
want
is your approach?
we want to find out what he knows and where his loyalties are. So we want to probe him as best we can, providing as much information as we need, but as little as we can get away with, to try and get him speaking to us.
I think we I think we come from a position of concern, perhaps, that we are worried about his safety, even though we suspect that he's potentially the instigating issues. But I
since two of his old friends died, we could like act all concerned.
Yeah.
So I think so I think we can sort of play it by ear, but I agree that we share as little information as possible, and I think we try to get him alone as well, for that discussion.
Yeah, I agree with that. Someone who's alone is also a bit more likely to speak, being less concerned with general public ears and all.
Yes. Agree.
Yes. Okay. Then that sounds like a plan. We get them alone, and I think that perhaps one of those of you who are more experienced in diplomacy can lead that.
Yes, of course.
So Kelsey stands like the biggest chance with royalty, but I'll come with nobility. But I'll come along, of course.
I'm fairly good with diplomacy, but worst case scenario, I can also lie through my teeth.
Oh, actually, I also have a way with words. It's just, I don't know, you and my social standing might, like, if that dude is is the patriarch of his house, then he's probably the most willing to speak to someone with some status.
I still think, in case this person is this, this magician that has caused this and is truly practicing these things, I should be nearby as someone who is familiar with conjuration magics may be quite useful against
I mean, I think we should all be nearby. Like, I thought we would all go together. It's more of a, I think,
yes.
Sorry.
Chelsea might take the lead,
It's
right?
just establishing that you are accompanying me into Cyril. Yes, I think that will work fine. Yes, I'm sure it will work fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should all be present, but only, 2, maybe 3 of us at the table?
Yes.
And the others
lurking by the door.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yes. Very well.
All right.
I will wait.
Okay. Let's be off then.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
So, you head to the district of West Park, which is where the Gala family keep their residence. It's one of the most wealthy districts in Opara. Is the wealthiest district in Opara. It's home to most of the upper class. There are lots of constabulary stations here who patrol day and night. So you are probably going to get you're probably going to get noticed and asked about by them. And yeah. So yes, you are just heading in as if you know what you're doing, which you do, I suppose.
I
Indeed.
certainly will be. And I'll be dressed in fairly nice looking, clean, like clothes and stuff like that. Still got my armor on under it all if I can get away with something like that. But looking as clean and proper as I can.
Yeah, I think you can be wearing armor and still look clean and proper. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am honest.
Especially if you have, there's like special armors that are the presentable versions. That have a one less AC bonus, but they're like parade wear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think.
Yeah, I don't have such armor. I've just got.
That's a bit pricey though.
Yeah.
And we don't even
Yeah.
have to go that far.
Yeah.
It's more of a you're like a guard or something. Like you.
Yeah.
Just so you're not instantly recognizable as a thief.
Yeah.
Yeah. And go and wipe some of the mud off your face.
If need be, I'll prestidigitate our fetchling friend clean.
I do feel like, given my background, I am fairly good at being able to clean myself up in a way to be presentable to like aristocrats and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of blending into the background sort of appearance, isn't it? It's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing to see here.
Yeah. I've got a whole thing where like I can blend in with that kind of crowd, even talk the talk and walk the walk kind of thing, to blend in if need be.
Yeah.
Okay. Nita is just going to go and lurk in the back, trying to give as much legitimacy as she can to the others by looking important and trying not to snap at people.
All right. So, sorry. As you head into West Park, this very fine district with lots of grand buildings that have large walled gardens, you do get stopped by a member of the city guard. He says, they say, they kind of nod at Sir Kelsey and then say to Kelsey, I don't recognize you. Who are you here to see? And do you have to bring your entourage?
Good day, sir. Yes, Sir Kelsey Rutherwood, recently returned from diplomatic endeavours in Tianjia. I'm here to visit upon Sir Ignacio Gala. I have written to him ahead of time, so he will be expecting me. These are my companions. This is Sir Cyril Fargren, the Lady Nitra Bint Zakria, and our retainers.
Wow.
Yes.
I give it like a head nudge.
Alright. Would you like to make a diplomacy check to make an impression on this guard?
Be happy to do so.
I maintain good posture as I like bow proper.
Public or blind?
Public.
Nita's bow is just a short little.
I'll hear a point.
Oh,
That's better.
Nice.
It's a lot better.
Yeah. So, the guard kind of nods seriously, and then says, of course, shall I show you the way?
Thank you, my good man. That could be appreciated. I'm still relearning my way around a par. It's been a number of years I've been away.
Okay. So you are escorted then to the Gala household. Yeah. The guard is occasionally eyeing Kaelin and Fulgrim and Anita a little bit.
She gives him a little narrowing of the eyes and a little.
If I ever catch his eye, I try to smile at him, like just reassuringly. And a tiny bit flirty, but I don't actually want to flirt, but just get in his good graces.
Yeah.
And I'll just say, don't worry, mate. Not here to start trouble.
I think I'd be following Sir Kelsey like one step back and one step over.
Yeah.
And I'm just eyes
Slightly
forward.
lifted,
Even if
like,
he looks at me, I'm just eyes forward following Sir Kelsey. Like that's my place.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah. Nita probably has some experience with how to go and present in these sort of like formal meetings and whatnot between fancy folks. She's doing the usual routine. It's it doesn't require a lot of practice for her or a lot of focus.
Yeah. Alright. So the Gala estate is quite fine. It's not the biggest, but it is pretty significant in the district. And there are a couple of guards at the entrance, private guards this time, who kind of nod and stand aside to let you all through. One of them discusses briefly with the member of the constabulary, and then kind of nods and begins to escort you up to the house properly. Where you are announced as Sir Kelsey Rotherwood and entourage. And yeah, you are invited to wait in the sitting room. In the drawing room even.
How is the place appointed?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Kind of like lots of nice is it's pretty expensive. Nice in the sense of lots of money was spent on it. Lots of like gold
lots
and
of
blue.
taste.
Yeah. Gold tones and blue tones and kind of oceanic tones. It seems like they're perhaps a trading family. And yeah, there's a lot of gold though. A lot of gold tones going around. Not necessarily like everything's made of gold, but they definitely like it.
All right.
This is the room where you get to show off how wealthy you are. While people wait for you.
Are there any symbols kind of showing the like if they have weapons up on the wall or something like that, or anything that's tells us about the person? Like, do they have hunting trophies or fancy art or things like that might give us a bit of a clue in?
Yeah, there is some fine artwork. Some fine paintings, a few sculptures, mostly paintings. There aren't many like hunting trophies or anything like that, but there are a couple. Mostly seem to be like big kind of herbivores, not like they aren't actually hunting carnivores or anything. So like elk and stuff. I guess they have elk this far south. Well, the equivalent of an elk. A deer, I guess.
Stags.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a really big stag, or maybe a.
Yeah.
What would you put up? Maybe
I don't know what people kill and put on their walls.
Anything with that.
A swan head. That's a
large red deer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I guess down this far south, like a maybe like a gazelle or something. If they travel, if they go south for an excursion.
Yeah.
Or even boar, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. A boar
The
is a
answer is
dangerous
all
one,
of the
yeah.
above.
That's
Is all across these walls.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, they certainly like to show their wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and their
It's
barbarism.
it's traditional to show your wealth in the drawing room. It allows you to establish yourself with your guests without having to be overly self-aggrandizing in conversation.
Not that
Really
that would stop them.
self-aggrandizing.
I look around not
Yes.
overly pleased with the dead animals around. Barbaric practice, that is.
In the waste.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, sorry.
Kind of in poor taste.
Mm. I will also turn to Sir Kelsey. Do you think it might be suitable for me to join you in the conversation? I feel like I could be useful there.
I think we stay together unless to do so would draw undue attention.
I can blend in the background if that's preferred.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd leave the choice
Yes.
to you, seeing as how you'll be the one leading this conversation, so to speak.
We'll see. I'd prefer you all to be there and able to contribute.
Okay.
Easy done.
So.
We will wait.
Yeah. So. There is a bit of a wait, I'm afraid. And after half an hour or so, a young woman comes down and enters the room. She's a noblewoman, not a servant, and she says, "You were here to see my father, Aglesio? I am Lycia, Gala."
That's right.
Please
We
submit your
are.
acquaintance, my lady. I am Sir Kelsey. This is Sir Cyril Fargren, Lady Nita Binzakria, and two of our retainers. I'm very pleased to make your acquaintance, and I'll do the kind of if she's offering a hand, I'll take the hand and do the bow over and all that kind of thing. Yes, we do need to speak with your father on a matter of some import.
I'm afraid father is rather unwell at the moment. Is there not a message I could give him?
We have and Kelsey will kind of think about this for a moment.
We are very sorry.
Yeah.
No, sorry. If you, I thought you were actually thinking. So no, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I kind of pause for a moment. Our commiserations, condolences on your father's ill health. We have reason to suspect that he may be in some danger, and we wished to consult with him on this. We will be brief. We don't wish to overstress him if he's unwell, but I do feel that he would wish to speak with us. Perhaps if you could tell him it relates to the supper club.
She looks a little bit confused, and says, "Which supper club would that be? My Father has been a member of a number of them in his time.
I think perhaps if you emphasise the supper club, I think he will understand and will wish to speak with us.
Okay. She
And if you need to mention names, perhaps Torio and Manila.
She frowns a little bit and says, "I suppose I can ask him."
Thank you. I'd be very obliged if you could.
If he's feeling unwell, I might be able to take a look at him for you, Dal.
Yes. Or
she sniffs and says,
I am a learned woman.
She sniffs a bit and says, we have had fine doctors examine him before.
No need to get all uppity. I was just offering.
They're nobles, that's their job.
Oh, I know. And it's my job to make sure they're grounded.
It's possible my retainers may see things that your and companions may see things that your previous doctors have missed. But I think if you just speak with your father, I'm sure he will wish to speak with us.
Okay.
It is a rather time-sensitive matter. She chimes in.
Sure, he'll be aware of that as soon as his daughter speaks with
him. Okay. She sighs a little and heads upstairs to speak to her father. Yeah. Do you want to discuss or do anything while you're waiting again, or do you just want to skip forward to when she comes back?
Are we completely alone in the room?
I would actually like to look around the room and see if there's anywhere where we could potentially be listened in on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Sir Kelsey's working on the assumption that conversations in the room are not private.
Yeah. I dare say rooms like this normally are listened in on.
And I'd like to detect magic.
Okay. Alright, so it is always obvious when you cast detect magic, by the way. In case.
Oh, I know.
Cool.
He just doesn't care.
Just double checking.
Yeah. Verbal somatic, there's no hiding it.
Yeah, so you can detect magic, you can look around, perception check please for looking around, and also if anyone wants to what are your law skills actually?
I'm skilled in most things.
Okay, yeah, no, none of those apply right now. Okay. So yeah,
I'm gonna look around then.
Yeah, I guess I can read aura while I wait.
You have to pick an item for that.
Yeah, you do have to pick a specific object.
Okay, then if that detect magic comes up with anything, I'll start.
Okay.
It takes 1 minute per
magic,
object.
Right? Yeah, if they detect some sort of magic around, then I'll go and read the aura of it.
Okay.
Otherwise, Nita is just prestidigitating and doing a little practice prestidigitation to keep her hands busy.
And I just thought of this. I'd like to make a clarification. While I'm looking around, I'm trying to do so discreetly. So if anyone can see in the room, it's not necessarily obvious that I'm looking around for such a place.
I'm just kind of checking the room. I'm like not actually looking for people. I'm just looking at stuff in the room. Like
You're looking at the pretties.
exactly. I'm looking at pictures on the wall and stuff.
Elsie will sit trying to look as unconcerned as possible. It's like the sense of
Everyone else is like doing stuff, and you're just like going,
Twiddling thumbs.
Just levitating an orb up and down, just kind of like a bouncy ball.
Nice. Alright, so you just hit a little bit of magic. And also Cyril, you do spot something odd about one of the paintings. There's some interesting like kind of patterns in the background of one of the paintings. Sorry?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Right, so yeah, like it seems like maybe the painting has some kind of runes or something hidden in it, hidden in the background.
Oh, runes. I look over to. I think I'd probably suspect like that either Niter or maybe also Fogorm knows stuff about runes. So I say, hey, am I like imagining this? Like this, there's a pattern in this picture? Is that some sort of rune?
A pattern.
And like yeah, take a look. Like
Let me see.
here, there's yeah.
while you're looking at it, I'm going to read aura on it.
I wonder, is it in any language that Nita knows? Because she knows Infernal and Infernal, Aslanti, and Draconic, which are all common magic languages. Is it writing or is it like magic runes?
It is magic runes, but you do recognize the script. It's Infernal.
It's Infernal. Devil's tongue. We should perhaps keep our voices down about that.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Well, it's more like it's not like it says something. It's more like magic runes that would be for a spell or something. So you could try and identify magic.
Oh.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
However, it would be religion.
That'd be occultism. It would be religion.
Yeah.
Could I?
Fulgrim did say he was doing something on the runes.
Yeah. Well,
oh yeah, read
well,
aura.
while Nalte's doing that thing, I'm reading on the aura.
So let me just double check. I believe
Gives me the School of Magic.
Yeah. I believe it is transmutation.
That does not sound good.
Yes. Okay. I will also try a religion. Can't hurt. Or maybe could I try to aid somebody else doing a religion check on it if I read it out loud to them?
I'd be happy to do so.
I think that could work. You could do like a society check to aid.
Awesome, yeah. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to aid another in identifying it, and that's gonna be 16, so it doesn't get a +1. But Nita reads out the runes in specifically putting gaps to make sure she doesn't actually invoke anything. She's Nigara sewa zabagiaj Vaskurum Daida, she goes and
in common, please. I don't understand that.
So Kelsey's trained in religion. He's not very good at it, but he is trained in it. So I could make a check.
I've just done the roll for that.
Yeah, Kaylin did
that's
do
fine.
the roll.
You're
Would
certainly
Kaylin like to
better
hear a
than
point that?
Yes, if if need be.
Mhm. Well, it's an improvement.
That doesn't sound good.
So yeah, you're not really sure what this does. Yeah.
Neither,
I'll
maybe,
just-
maybe just
Definitely magic.
I'll say
So
maybe
I'll
write
say
it down.
that
aided
sounds
check.
interesting. It does something. It does something. I don't know what it is. It does something.
Is this picture part of the wall, or is it?
No, it's in a frame.
It's in a frame.
Maybe
Can I
try
just,
writing it down. We
Well,
can
can I
look
just,
at it later.
take it down and turn it around, facing the wall?
As you are
Let's
taking,
not dismantle the house.
Yeah.
That's when someone
Bring
walks
it
in.
down. Destruction.
I would like to just. Is the pattern in any way familiar with what? Because when Dave was on the bridge and watching street performers, they were specifically only hitting some of the stones which were the older ones. And does that pattern in any way remind me of that?
I'm afraid it doesn't. No.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Not
But about this time, Alicia returns.
Just at the painting,
Kelsey will stand.
I like to imagine there's you holding it up, two of us helping with it, and we all just kind of pause and just look.
So yeah, if you are mid painting rearrangement, she will say, "What are you doing?"
'Tis a fine work of art.
Yes, it's very
right.
pretty.
We wish to inspect it closer.
Yeah,
wish
I'm sorry.
to, not that.
I'm unfortunately very nearsighted, so I'm very sorry. It was on my request.
Oh my god.
God, do you have to make a deception? Shit.
Yes, please make a deception check, someone.
All of us, both of us, any of us.
Can I roll deception to
It's gonna be
assist?
5 from me.
I can.
No, that's a.
I can do deception. Oh no!
You have hair of
You're
once.
lying.
You do have hair once.
Yeah, you know what? I'm a hero point that. Hero point that shit because I don't want to accidentally critically. Okay, I got 6. Cool. Yeah.
Shame it's not me, the
Alright,
one that's
alright.
lying. God damn.
Yeah, I could have also lied.
I'm the liar in the
I
group.
just kept my mouth
look,
shut.
look at you all somewhat askance.
I just kind of I'm just looking. I just look down to the ground oh god, shaking my head.
To be, the downside of this is we're all associated with you, so Kelsey. So you're in control of us, apparently.
We are your entourage.
And Alicia is not pleased.
I do apologise, one can't get the help these days.
I was just doing as I was told.
She's sorry. Alicia seems very angry, and says, that painting was a gift on my wedding day. How could you? Oh. She
Is a fine gift.
smiles and says, I have come all the way to see my father again whilst he is ill, and now you are coming to our house, trying to disturb him, and damaging our family property. I will not stand for this. Get out.
Did you speak with your father?
It's-
I'll hold his hand up. I know he knows Nita's propensity to explode.
Let's listen to this fine lady. We have disturbed them enough, and at least I usher I usher everyone but Sir Kelsey out. Like, he can decide if he tries to salvage this, but I think the other ones.
Yes, I do apologise for my companion's behaviour. Did you speak to your father?
Yes,
I do believe
did.
he would want to speak with us.
I did speak with him, and he has no interest in communicating with you.
I see.
I would like to try and bullshit something as I'm leaving. Like, I'm going to gracefully leave, but I want to try and bullshit something to try and improve relations.
Okay.
I'm
mhm.
just trying to work out what it is I would be wanting to try and say to try and like fix the situation.
Nothing. We already tried lying and we failed.
Yeah, but that was you guys.
No, that wasn't us. That was specifically one person, but it was also specifically said that one of us can try to lie, so.
So my line of thinking is I'm just wanting to fix relations. I'm still willing to leave as requested, but I'm wanting to try and fix relations so that this may be a person that we may be able to come back to later. Whereas if we leave now as it is, there's no chance in hell we're ever able to come back and see this person.
Yeah. So I guess I think Kelsey, I would like to make a sense motive check, if I may, about her reaction to the painting, to see if it's kind of genuine or if she's trying to hide something, that kind of a vibe.
Okay. Yeah, you can vibe check her. With a sense motive. Okay. The impression you get is not that it's like an overdone reaction, but that it's like, how do I put this? Like she's genuinely concerned about the painting, but you think there might be maybe like a bit more to it than it just being a wedding gift.
So, based on that, I'm going to say, I'm going to take a risk. Perhaps we're not entirely forthcoming about our visit. Perhaps we should place all of our cards on the table and see if she's going to sort of pause in chucking us out in order to let us continue that conversation.
She kind of, you can make a diplomacy check, but at the moment she's looking kind of snarly.
I will put the painting back up on the wall.
Oh shit! That was it was so close to an at 20 there.
I know. I'm gonna hear it. I'm gonna hear a point now.
Okay.
Oh.
No! Oh no!
Okay, guys, we're leaving.
Oh. At this point, I think it's too far gone for me to do anything.
She kind of snarls at you and says, "So you're confessing to lying your way in here as well? Get out!"
I shall. I shall leave.
To hell with you and your wretched family.
They're just really doubling down on it now.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like, we did not actually lie our way in there, you know.
Oh, that could have gone so much better.
Yeah.
Lady Neater, do you think by chance you can remember and write down what you saw written on that picture?
That's a good point, actually, because she did like spend some time reciting it out loud. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I try to do that? I have my I actually have my ink stuff on me all the time, so I can.
All right.
I have my writing set.
Nice.
Awesome.
While you're doing that, as on our way out, I'm going to try. So I think this is a fairly discreet spell, or cantrip message. So I know who the target is. I don't think I need to see them. It's not. It doesn't
Yeah,
have
I think
anything
you do. I think
You do need
message
to see
needs.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it says it targets one creature, and if they can, in order to give a brief response, they must be able to see you and be within range. But it specifies see you and within range as like two different things. So, and that's only mentioned when it comes to the response part.
Yeah, so it means
You
that
definitely
if
have
you
to be able to be within range to cast it on them.
yeah.
So 120
I'm
feet.
pretty sure you have to be able to see them because you need to have line of effect.
Okay, all right, worth a try. Yeah, it'd be. I guess it'd be quite powerful for cantrip if
Yeah.
do that. So.
Well, if it would, but it does say as they can give a brief response as a reaction, but they must be able to see you and be within range to do so. So I don't
guess
know.
that's like if you could see them but they couldn't see you, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's also specifically for one of the psychic spells, they have message amped, and only then they specifically say you don't have to be in line of sight. So I think that kind of indicates that
because you
it's
can,
usually line of sight.
yeah, you can be hidden where you can see a target and the target can't see you.
Yeah.
Yes.
In which case, in such a scenario, you could cast message, but they wouldn't be able to reply.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could cast I'm behind you, make them turn around.
Okay. Well then
Or just make
so
ghostly
yeah,
sounds all day.
Nita, you can write down the runes.
Okay. She goes and scribbles it down with her with a little paper pressed against the wall.
Not even leaving the building, just like
runes from the painting.
So Kelsey, do you share what you read on that person's face in terms of?
Yeah, as we're going to go through, yeah, she knows more about the painting than she was letting on. But I'm afraid I somewhat fumbled the attempt to turn it around.
What is going on?
You mean it wasn't a wedding gift? The audacity of that woman to lie about such a thing.
More than just a wedding gift, I suspect.
Okay.
It did have transmutation magic in it, so.
What's transmutation magic?
Perhaps she was the. No, that would be strange.
Transmutation magic is stuff that transmutes things into another form.
I don't speak magic.
Is it possible that she is Gala?
I mean, she's a Gala, yeah.
Yes, but that she is in fact her father, shapeshifted. That wouldn't make much sense.
I mean,
the
it could
painting
be.
has transmutation magic.
Yes. I don't know why. That would not.
Does that mean the
If it was
painting's
transmuted into something else, as if it was something else originally, and it has been transmuted?
Does that mean it's not actually a painting?
Potentially.
What could it have been?
We could take this.
Anything, depending on the level of magic used to transmute it.
Is it possible that it could be something used to see into the room?
Is it possible?
It's. You would think that might be divination magic rather than transmutation.
Yep.
Yes. My father here, he could probably identify this readily.
Not
Perhaps we
now. Not if he was kicked out like us.
can we try and like go to a library to maybe figure out what the stuff what
Yeah.
you've written down, Nito?
Yes. Or perhaps a
And
cleric of some sort. If you know any monks who might be able to ascertain this.
I concluded my studies on Jamrai, so I've not been in contact with any monks from around here. I can send them a message, but I do think it would take a while, and we don't have the time to wait for a response.
I can tell you that the libraries do have information on stuff like that. That's how I've got most of my knowledge on this kind of stuff, is reading up on them in the libraries around town.
The library may be our best bet. Or, I can't think of anyone aside from, unless we took this to one of the local priests. But I think then we might be suspected of practicing diablerie ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
we could just say that we found it somewhere and we are worried for the health of the people involved. Just need someone that's quite convincing of that.
That's not a bad idea. I could make a second copy, one of you who is skilled with scoundrelly and lying could take that to a priest. I could check the books.
Not really lying, we are worried. Well, I am.
Yeah, I think a word with Lady Martella perhaps as well.
Yes.
I think if the rest of you are okay with it, I've thought of another avenue I could potentially attempt back at that house again if I go it alone.
You want to break in and steal the picture?
No, nothing of the sort. Nothing so callous and brutish.
You want to enter and pocket the picture?
Polite conversation is all.
Like what?
Sorry?
I'd like to go back and have a polite conversation is all. If everyone else here is okay with it.
You want what? Sorry, I cut out for a second.
Wanting to go
back and have a polite conversation.
I think that's a very bad idea. I think those people have more power than we do. And
oh, I wholeheartedly agree. It's exactly why I think it's a good idea.
Devils involved. I think we have no idea what you might face in the building. Let's not rule it out. Let's keep that in reserve.
Thinking of it like this is that I believe I've got a good idea of how to approach the situation, and I mean, if you don't hear from me later today, then you've got an idea that there's definitely some form of physical involvement at that place.
They don't even need that. Like, if you try to extort them, they can
get
just
yourself killed or captured for this.
If they just find you there and they accuse you of breaking and entering, no one will. I mean, first of all, because you actually did it, but no one will actually believe you're innocent. No one will.
I wouldn't
No
break
one can
in.
help you.
I wouldn't break in.
They won't let you in. They won't let you in.
As I said, I've got a line of questioning that I think would actually work for me to have a conversation with her. And if you hear from me later, great. I may or may not have information. If you don't hear from me later, then you know there's definitely something sus going on at that house.
I mean, we already know that.
Right now, we've got strong suspicions. We don't know for certain. And if you don't hear from me later today, then you know for a fact that there is something suspicious going on at the house.
I mean, my problem is you getting yourself killed is one thing, but you're associated with us. If whatever you do fails, you're putting us all in danger.
I mean, if whatever I do fails, then chances are we're already the targets, given what just went down in their entrance room.
Right.
Yes, if they have capabilities and malicious intent, then
We're already
yes,
targets.
I think.
But I feel like what I
Now,
can do may alleviate some of that target if I'm successful in what I wish to do.
then
If
by
you
all means.
fail,
If I fail, then it's just
if
me.
you fail in this,
Then it's just me. And you know, if I fail and you don't hear from me again, then you know for a fact something's going on at that house.
I don't like
No.
it. Yes.
It provides information one way or the other. The only way it doesn't provide information is if I fail and you hear from me later today. It's the only way we don't get information from it.
Yes.
But anything else
Well,
that happens,
against the risk of half of Eastport burning down again, it seems not an unreasonable level of risk. I shall stay with
Fine.
Arya and ensure nothing burns down in the meantime.
Fine.
I'll go to the libraries and investigate these runes. See what I can find. See if I can use my academic profession to get information about that.
and I'll meet up
Don't do
with
anything
you.
stupid or I'll kill you.
That's if you get the chance. I'll meet up with everyone at back at Arya's place. Yeah.
You sure you want to go in there alone and try to sweet talk you through this?
What I want to do will only work if I'm by myself.
All right.
If anyone else is with me, it won't work.
Then I guess I'll.
I'm so curious.
I think you're bullshitting. Very well. I'll go to the library with you then. I'm not of much help, but I can't just sit around.
Oh, I could give you a copy of the runes. You could speak with a cleric and see if you could trick them into thinking that it's not the property of a very valuable, a very wealthy woman.
Sure, perhaps. Yeah, I'd do that.
Okay. Well, then we have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
We have a plan.
We have a plan. Hopefully, I'll see you all later.
Well,
Don't get killed.
Now, just a quick note for Jay. If what I wish to do does lead to my death, so be it. I am happy to accept that. It is my own consequences for my own actions.
Okay.
what? Oh my god, what is happening? What is this plan?
We'll find out if he comes back.
Oh boy.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think Nita's part of the plan is least interesting, so she's just gonna go to a library and can I use academia lore to try to
Absolutely.
use my knowledge of books to research something I'm not otherwise trained in?
Yeah, for sure.
Radical. Okay, that's what she's doing for the time. Also, she makes a second copy of the runes if anybody needs it. So I had an extra one of those to my inventory. I'll roll academia.
Ooh.
The fuck is your plan, man?
Okay, so Nita, you do find out some interesting things, some very interesting things. So,
Very interesting.
This is not just generic infernal. You actually recognize the kind of style of the infernal this is. This is specifically from Cheliax. not just like generic brand infernal text, but churlish infernal text. It does seem to like
Interesting.
but also it seems to be part of a contract.
Come on.
A contract with the devil.
Oh shit. Wait, sorry, I lost connection again for like 10 seconds there. I heard something about a devil.
Yeah. It seems to be part of a contract with the devil.
My goodness. We really should not show this to a cleric. I think we will get in quite some trouble. But my goodness, oh dear, yes. Oh dear. Well, I do hope that Kaylin is all right then.
So Kaylin, what are you getting up to? Oh, sorry.
Anyone else?
No, I am fine coming back. My question was very minor thing.
I'm happy to finish off anything else first. I don't want to take the spotlight away from anyone else.
I'm good. Don't worry. Go
Okay.
take the spotlight.
As I head back to the house, I'd first like to ask if I may know or be able to recall any devil names.
Like how high up a devil do you want? Because the lower ranking devils, you'll find it more difficult to recall, but the famous ones, anyone can recall.
Basically a lord. A devil lord.
Okay.
If I can recall.
Yeah,
just a name.
Yeah. How about Mephistopheles? Everyone knows him.
Alright. Cool. When I go back, I want to knock on the door and patiently wait for the lady to return to the front door.
Well, it's not her who returns, but it is a servant of hers. And the servant says,
I will bow, like do a half bow in front of the servant and go, I'd very much appreciate to have a quick word with the lady of the house, as this is dealing with a very important contractual matter in which I am involved in.
You can make a deception check to convince the servant this is what you're here for and this is important and stuff.
Please don't let me down, dice. Please don't let me down.
I don't know. This is a different servant.
Okay.
I just hope the dice don't let me down. That's all I'm really begging for.
Yeah, okay. So that works out alright. The servant frowns a little, but says, the lady of the house has recently been bothered by some people. I will discuss this matter with her.
Inform her that those people were babbling buffoons in which I must travel with for the time being.
Okay. So the servant vanishes for a moment. As in closes the door and walks off, not as in literally. And then shortly afterwards returns and says, Lady Lucia will see you in the hallway.
And I step in once I'm given the okay to step in.
And then after a few moments, Lucia returns down the stairs. When she sees it's you, her brow furrows and she gets this kind of snarling look on her face again and says, "Why must you insist on bothering me and my family?"
I must apologize for the babbling buffoons in which I must associate myself with for the time being. I am actually traveling with them on behalf of Lord, and I say the devil's name in which I'm traveling, that I'm contractually agreed with. And I basically apologize for their behavior, but inform her that I am working with this Lord in order to bring him into the world, because I feel like that's what is sorely needed in this world, and that I know that these people are trying to put a stop to any such summonings, and hence why I'm with them to deviate them from any such investigations.
Okay. Would I could ask you for a deception check, or I could just have her react without knowing without. I think a deception check makes sense because, yeah, because if she doesn't think you're genuine, then yeah. So a deception check, please.
Alright. And I believe I have one more hero point left, and if I need to use it, I am definitely using it.
Okay, you can do this openly, I think, by the way, because you'll know from her reaction.
Openly? Okay. Oh, yeah, no.
That's better. Not great.
Not great, but
Okay.
hopefully it's good enough.
So she blinks and then says, "What?" And then she blinks again and then says, "To worship devils so openly. Speak of devil worship so openly, I mean. You..."
I've been led to believe
What?
that you are connected with our types, and therefore I believe I can be honest with you.
She coughs a little and says, "My husband may be Chilaxian, but that doesn't mean that I practice diabolism in Taldor, where it is very much illegal. I am thoroughly offended that you would even suggest, I mean, frankly."
And yet, the painting on your wall with Infernal on it?
What? Don't be ridiculous. We don't have any paintings with Infernal on them.
Oh, you know the painting I'm speaking of. The painting that those babbling buffoons were squandering all over. Why do you think they were so interested in it? They're investigating things like that, and I'm here to put a stop to them.
She kind of, what's the word? Grumbles a bit and then says, "This is absurd. My father will explain everything. Follow me."
And I follow.
So, do you want to head upstairs?
Yeah, I'll follow. Like, if she's taking me somewhere, I will follow. Pretending like
Okay.
I've got nothing to be afraid of.
Okay.
This is an insane scheme. I understand why this scheme may get you killed. This is, yeah. Love it, though. This is great. This is...
You can also see why it wouldn't work if I came with anyone else.
Yeah.
No, it's not like
It's a
telling
great
us the
way to
plan
use
would have actually hurt your plan at all. Like, why the secrecy?
Because he's a rogue.
Wow.
He's a filthy knave, you know? A scoundrel, a knave.
It's my practice to associate myself with a variety of different types of people.
Okay. So she leads you upstairs and into the master bedroom, where there is an elderly man sitting in a chair. He looks quite old and quite like. He looks like you'd heard of him, and you thought from what you'd heard, he was in decent health. He looks in a lot worse health than that. And this is Aglesio Gala.
Aglesio Gala. So I recognize him to be that person?
Well, you know her father is Aglesio, so yeah.
Alright.
And their father. And she says, my father will be able to explain everything. And I would appreciate if you did not speak of these matters in front of the servants ever again.
100%. If you need any of your servants silenced, I'm happy to lend a hand as I put my hand on the hilt of one of my blades.
Okay. She grimaces a little bit and says, that would draw rather too much attention.
Not the way I do it, but not a problem. Your house, your rules.
Yeah, and she leaves the room, which does leave you alone with Aglesio. What do you want to say to him?
I did not think that would actually all work and I'd get here. I would like to have a discussion with Aglesio about kind of like that, like devil worship and whatnot, and a brief description of what my agreement with my devil is in the terms of bringing him into the world and delaying any such investigations into any such matters, hence my involvement with this group. So that's all kind of like trying to ingratiate myself with him, and also trying to get him to open up about what he knows and what his any kind of agreements or contracts that he may have with any such devils as well, and what may be involved in case there's any such thing that I can be of assistance with.
Okay. I think you can do diplomacy or deception here. Sorry, deception would be more appropriate.
Yeah, deception. I'm going deception. Public or private?
Public.
Public. I got no more safeties.
Nice.
Oh my god.
That was well done.
I ingratiate myself so well.
Fortune favors the bold. Holy shit. Damn.
As you are talking with Aglesio, you get he lets you speak for a few minutes, and then he says, I have no desire to bring more devils into this plane, but I could advise you on methods to do such things. Have experience with them. They have offered me much in my time, but you should be aware, whatever they have offered you, it will not go your way. He turns fully towards you and see how he looks very ill. And he says, you wish to bring Mephistopheles, was it, into our plane? What have you been offered? Was it immortality? Because immortality...
It was power.
Well, simply power.
Power
I
and
see.
control over these lands.
Well, you may find you do not have it for very long. I believed when I asked for immortality that would guarantee me health as well. No, it did not.
Is that the bargain you
Despite
struck?
all I sacrificed. Yes. And despite all I sacrificed, all my friends sacrificed, we are dying or dead. Be very careful with how you word your contracts, young man. Although I suppose if you're here, it is already too late for you.
That may be so. I'm under the impression there is someone else dealing with such contracts, and I wish to get in touch with them. How do you think is best?
Aglacio kind of... sorry.
I was just going to say, how do you think is best for me to reach out to such a person? Took me a while to find you.
Aglacio shakes his head and says, I do not know any others who endeavoured... I do not know any others who struck deals with the devils in order for them to gain their powers. The other three, the three of us are dead or dying. The other members, sorry, not the other members, the others, the ones we aspired to be like. I could not tell you how to find them.
And what of that painting in your entrance hall? Is that your contract?
A part of it. It is my part of the contract. The other two had their own parts.
Is it a contract that's still being acted out within these city limits? As I do not wish to get in the way of any such thing.
No. Contract should only affect me nowadays. The others being dead, they should no longer be affected by it.
I'm under the impression that the arson fires in these city walls over the last decade are related to such contracts. Do you have any word on that?
He, when you mention fires, he shudders a little bit and says, I have dreamt of those fires every night since they happened. 37 years of nightmares. We
Since the first of the fires.
sacrificed a great deal for what we gained, and what we gained was little.
And what of the fires since then?
Those fires, on the nights of my friends' deaths. I suspect there will be another fire soon, when I die.
Will it be you catching on fire or someone else?
Presumably the buildings where we worked.
Sorry, what's that?
It will likely be the buildings where we worked. I will die of this illness. And I be the last of the three.
What building?
Three-pointed circle.
What building was it in? I do not wish to be caught in any such fire.
He can mum as an address.
Do I
Or
know
name of
the
building,
address?
more likely. Yeah, you could figure it out easily enough.
It's not somewhere that I've been though, right?
No, it's
No.
not Arya's house.
No. I know of a little girl also suffering from nightmares of fires. Do you know her involvement in this?
A
Isn't it a
child?
grown woman?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but
it's a grown
still.
woman.
I'm trying to play at the heartstrings, alright?
Okay. He says, I know none of my families have any young children at the moment, as far as I'm aware, unless they're illegitimate. And if they're illegitimate, well.
So you think descendants may have such nightmares?
It is very possible. These devils have a love for long-term dealings with our families.
Do you have is your contract stipulated for descendants as well?
So it's not like specifying that it would apply to descendants. But it's like
It's kind of like blood kind of thing. It's just innate kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. I guess that's probably something that. Would that be something I could pick up on, seeing as how I'm not actually involved in such a thing. I'm just bullshitting my way through it.
Yeah, you think you could? I think you could kind of put two and two together.
Yep. So I'll say it out loud. Okay, note to self, no family. I say with a bit of a smirk.
Yeah. And Iglecio, he says, now, sought my advice on how to summon Mephistopheles. Well,
Yes.
stick with me a while, and I will explain. So,
But is he going to go through the process to summon such a creature?
he's not going to tell you like the exact details on how to summon Mephistopheles. It's more like he'll give you like advice on the general processes of dealing with devils and stuff. But yeah, we don't need to go into that in detail.
No. I was just thinking. Just having a look at my kit. I would probably pull out my chalk and something else to write on. Let's just say my water skin, because I've got nothing else really. And I'm just going to like try and jot down some notes best I can. And pretending to be like I'm interested and this is all I've got available to jot down notes for.
He will give you a pen and, well, not pen, but like, well, yeah, maybe a pen. Like a pen and some ink and paper because he thinks that's ridiculous that you don't have any.
Thank you. Muchly appreciated.
Just like take some from the cupboard or something.
I do that, and I do jot down the notes as he tells me information. I do actively jot down the notes because I know I can take that back to the party as things to look out for.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll go through that, get the information, And after that, I'll just. Is there anything I can do to better assist you in any way before I leave?
Hmm. He says, yeah, I think he just says, ensure when I die, the fires remain in Eastport and do not spread.
I'll certainly do my best. I will provide what little information I can to these investigators I'm with, so that they may be able to assist in preventing such fires, without, of course, giving anything away about you.
Okay. And before you leave, he does say one more thing, which is, ensure my family's good name is not dragged through the mud like the McCartus family.
I'll do my best to do so. And I'll also provide him the address of the safe house that I've told my friends about, as a place he can send a note to if he wishes to reach out to me for anything.
Okay. Alright.
And with that, I will leave and go back to Arya's place. If I do
Okay.
so with no issues or getting jumped on the way back.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you'll be fine, probably.
I'd have my head on a
Probably.
swivel the entire way.
Okay.
Right. Well, okay.
Do we have any goodbye messages to say, or just stop recording?
I usually just fade
Excelsior!
out and put like a thing.
Alright, well, I'll just stop recording here. Goodbye. Thanks for listening if you've
Goodbye.
listened.
Bye, everybody! Have a great week!